The biggest problem with the most popular film recipe, it's only available on Fuji. The blues and cyans are lush, reds and oranges muted, but this photo was taken on the OM3. Even Nikon has their own JPEG recipes. I compared the Nikon ZF, OM3 and Fujifilm files across 20 different scenes. Can I create a look that works for all my cameras using free software only? But the odds are against me. This is my attempt number 3. Can I finally quit Adobe? Hello, I'm Jack. This is Bokeh Therapy. You might think Fuji's classic chrome is a little played out, but a starting point doesn't define our ending. Get that classic chrome look straight in camera on the OM3, and one of Nikon's new JPEG recipes looks even better to me. I still prefer to shoot RAW. Fuji X RAW Studio, NX Studio, and OM Workspace are all free, minor exposure tweaks, then the film recipe. I can change my mind in post. If it's close enough to Fuji, it's good enough for me. I might be able to quit Adobe using Fuji's 23mm f1.4, OM's 70mm f1.8, and the new TT Artisan 40mm f2 on the ZF. Thank you to TT Artisan for letting me try this lens. There are no sponsors for this video. In these first 5 scenes, I'm testing different shades of orange. The beige walls, sandy footpaths, rusted paint and wooden grain. When I shoot these scenes in classic chrome on my X-T3, you can see it softens these muddy brown tones. The OM3 gets close, but the desaturation doesn't look quite the same as Fuji. Where we start doesn't define our ending. Presets aren't part of my creative identity, so the settings I'll show you aren't mind-blowing. They all come free with your camera just to use as a common starting point, and OM Workspace is similar to Fuji's X RAW Studio. You can plug in your OM3 into your laptop. It will check with OM Workspace. Use either your camera or the computer to convert the RAWs to JPEGs. Even before the PenF came out, there's been a huge community. The best recipes I found are from the M43 forum regulars, Gareth B and IBD, link below. It's not just classic chrome, they've created all of the modern Fuji film sims. This style can adjust the vibrance across different colors to create or copy any look you want. What about Nikon? It's way more complicated. The easiest way I found is to load the recipes onto an SD card, go to Manage Picture Control on the photo shooting menu, load save, copy the camera. But where do you find those recipes? Unless you make your own inside NX Studio, you need to sign up for apps, Nikon IDs, back and forth permissions. To save you time, I've already downloaded 9 of Nikon's recipes. You can see sample images and access those recipe files for free on my website or straight in your inbox this week with the Bokeh Therapy newsletter. It's enough to get you started. I'll cover how to access all the other recipes and which one's my favorite later. But if we all start with the same presets, who still has an identity? Color had nothing to do with Robert Frank's identity. His work was stark in tone, serious, black and white only. The Americans defined how an entire generation was perceived. It remapped Elliot Erwitt's journey. As soon as you import the OM3's RAW files into Lightroom, those in-camera colors are gone. The color wheel interface isn't carried across to Lightroom's HSL settings. The camera settings do match in OM Workspace though. I'm confident whether I'm shooting in JPEG or RAW, using OM Workspace I can get the exact same look at the end as long as I have a common starting point. Reds are notorious for ruining auto white balance. Fuji's classic chrome tamps down the reds and oranges, which is why most people's skin tones look flattering. The OM3 comes very close to this. While auto white balance, the OM3 tends to oversaturate compared to Fuji. Nikon gets closer to it even though it's not a copy. Where you start doesn't define your ending. Which is why having both RAW and JPEG is nice. What wasn't nice was the first time I tried to quit Adobe. I felt a little silly. My photos don't make money. The monthly payments might outlive my interest in this hobby. The reason I stayed? Simply too lazy. Relied too much on tags, keywords, and the smart folders in Lightroom. I wasn't ready. I figured out the OM Workspace user interface in under an hour, but there are two issues I found. Zooming in to 100% even on my M3 Ultra Max Studio, everything felt a little sluggish. I'm not sure how good the ongoing support has been. I'm keen to hear from long-time OM users. But two, it's also not very intuitive to share and sync those JPEG recipes. I thought I could set it in camera and then import it into OM Workspace, but I couldn't get this working. Thankfully, the Adjust Color tab looks identical to the color wheel menu on the OM3, so I just manually set it on both to be the same. If I only shot with OM system cameras and used JPEG recipes 90% of the time, raw workflow some of the time, this could be an Adobe alternative. Copy my look if you'd like. Classic chrome settings plus my own exposure tweaks, a common starting point. Irwit revered his mentor in both life and photography. But while Robert preferred 35, Elliot preferred 50. Rather than melancholy, Irwit chose humor, a little whimsy. Where we start doesn't define our ending. Nikon's recipes force you to slow down because there's 4 platforms to set up. You need to make sure your ZF's on the latest firmware. You could update through the SnapBridge app if you like, but there's no recipes there. You have to download the NX Studio app though on your computer, sign up for a Nikon ID, register your Nikon camera, but still no recipes. What you then need is Nikon Imaging Cloud, but to sign in, you need to activate Imaging Cloud on your camera, scan the QR codes, enter the right access codes, then you're in. It's almost like Nikon don't want you to use it. Is all of this worth it? Pink and purple is one of the trickiest colors to match on any profile, and classic chrome makes pink look bright, yet faded all at once. OM3 has a tendency to oversaturate by default. My favorite recipe on the ZF shifts the bright pink sign closer in hue to red. The same desaturated tone as Fuji, but it's more contrasty, brassy, and urban. The second time I tried to quit Adobe, I thought I was ready. I was set with Capture One's lifetime license. Then they announced they'd only support new camera models if you're a monthly subscriber. The features and profiles for lifetime licenses would be restricted. I'm suspicious of any company that claims to ask for one-time payments only. Nikon's already published a lot of creator recipes, but I'm more interested in their own recipes. There are 30 Nikon created color grading recipes available right now. I'm personally most drawn to Cyan 1A, Yellow and Cyan 2A, and Tungsten Color 1B. Really catchy naming, it's classic Nikon. Out of these 3, my favorite's Cyan 1A. It's the recipe I've been showing you on all the Nikon ZF images across every single scene. It has hints of that classic chrome look, but it's more contrasty, has deeper blacks by default. All these ZF images were also taken using the TT Artisan 40mm f2. It's smaller in size than Nikon's 40mm f2. It has a clicked aperture ring made entirely of metal compared to Nikon's plastic. It's not weather sealed though, so build quality is up to personal preference. Nikon's 40mm is sharper in the center up close and at mid distances. Infinity, it looks about the same on both lenses. Aberrations are better controlled on the Nikon, as is flaring and ghosting, but their bokeh look almost identical. You don't need it if you already have the Nikon 40. Sony E-mount shooters can save a bit of money for a faster lens over their 40mm f2.5. Where you start doesn't define your ending. Yellow and green are next to each other on the color wheel, so they should play together nicely. Classic chrome takes the edge off these colors. Both OM3 and ZF's recipes do as well. Trees, branches, yellow road signs all look great, but that doesn't make them classic chrome. There's one tone left that's make or break. First, let's get those other recipes. On Nikon Imaging Cloud, save all the recipes you want. Make sure your camera's connected to Nikon Cloud, then set picture control, load from cloud. How many steps is this? The trade-off for all these steps is that unlike Lightroom, I feel very confident I could get my raw files looking exactly like the JPEGs in camera. What I saw through the EVF when I was taking the picture. The JPEGs look better than Fuji's JPEGs for my use case, but I'd still shoot in RAW and JPEG at least for the first session. Once you import the raw files, NX Studio can save the recipe, you can export it and load it onto other cameras via SD cards, or try it out on your old ZF RAW files. All look great, but that doesn't make them classic chrome. There's one tone left that's make or break: blue. In the shadows, midtones, and overhead skyscrapers reflecting the sky, perhaps the most representative scene for blue in classic chrome is this one: washed out sand, cyan in the water, faded red in the signs and cones. The Ohm 3 I think gets closer to that classic chrome look than the ZF recipe. It does saturate the reds and yellows a bit more, and the ZF cyan negative film look diverges even further. It's more metallic and urban against what is otherwise a really vibrant scene. This is my favorite new recipe. I could go into NX Studio to further tweak it. There are some powerful split toning tools, but I love the way this looks in camera. It looks good at night too, although the tungsten look might overtake it with a bit of that Cinestill vibe. To switch between these two recipes, there's sadly no custom mode on the ZF, but you can program it to the I menu. Leave the selector on that panel and scroll the command dial to switch between the two. Is this enough for me to quit Adobe? NX Studio feels zippier and more powerful than OM Workspace. I get to start my edit exactly where I left off in camera, but where we start doesn't define our ending. In his famous Portraits of Robert Frank, Herbert revealed his mentor's vulnerability. From those rare moments of intimacy began two diverging legacies: candid canine pictures versus life's little tragedies. Our starting point doesn't define our ending. This is the third and maybe last time I'm trying to quit Adobe. The first-party camera editing tools are appealing to me. They make their money from hardware, and if I only shot with Nikon, I would stick with NX Studio. There are enough recipes to play with for a very long time. You can shoot RAW and get the exact same look as the JPEGs, and it's easy enough to tweak once you learn the colors you like best. But before I give it my full recommendation, Nikon need to improve the experience, make the initial setup more logical and enthusiast friendly. For me though, I currently shoot with too many different camera brands. For the foreseeable future, I'll need cross-brand support. For me, photography is not just a passing flight of fancy. I'm grateful the channel's made it to 17,000 subs. I can now justify paying monthly for Adobe. Where we start doesn't define our ending. I made a classic Chrome RAW preset to use on all my cameras in Lightroom. As long as the RAW files start on the Adobe color profile, this should work. Even though it's not exactly classic Chrome, it comes very close. Like every other preset in this video, it's free for you to download. I plan to do this for other film sims, including my favorite Acros recipe. I've compared the ZF's black and white mode to a Leica M11 monochrome. Here, if you're interested, I'm Jack. This is Bokeh Therapy.